They climb on our nuclear facilities. In this regard, I am compelled to announce today that Russia is suspending its participation in the Strategic Offensive Arms Treaty. I repeat, we are not withdrawing from this treaty. No. Namely, we are suspending our participation. But, before returning to the discussion of this issue, we must understand for ourselves what such countries of the North Atlantic Alliance as France and Great Britain still claim. And how will we account for their strategic arsenals? That is, we are talking about the combined strike potential of the alliance. They have now made their statement. In fact, an application for participation in this process. Well, thank God. Do it? We don't mind. There is no need to just try again to lie to everyone. Build yourself out as champions of peace and détente. We know all the ins and outs. We know that the warranty periods of validity for combat use of certain types of nuclear weapons of the United States are expiring. And in this regard, as we know for certain, some politicians in Washington are already thinking about the possibility of natural tests of their nuclear weapons, including taking into account the fact that the United States is developing new types of nuclear weapons. We have such information. In this situation, the Russian Ministry of Defense and Rosatom must ensure readiness for testing Russian nuclear weapons. Of course, we will not be the first to do this, but if the United States conducts tests, then we will conduct them. No one should have the dangerous illusion that global strategic parity can be destroyed.
So I wanted y'all to see that concerning what I had to change the battery in the camera, but I wanted y'all to see that concerning Russia, how they are studying America and how they got them, man. They are studying the American capability, and they are studying and I'll say this, they know about how much time they got to be able to use them nukes concerning the uranium. They know, man. They studied it, man. And they see it, man. They put it out there. Look, like, we know. You know what I'm saying? So, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI got them Russians, man. He got them right, man. And like I was using that analogy concerning Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. The Russians got the high ground, man. They got it, man. They got the high ground, man. And YAHAWASHI allowed them Russians to have the high ground because they're going to destroy America, man. They're going to destroy it, man. And it's set up like that. And when YAHAWASHI comes, he's going to finish this place off, man. They're going to finish all these heathen nations off, man. But you're going to have slaves. We're going to have slaves, but he's going to finish them off, man. You see? That's what it's going to be. So give me what you got in Isaiah, bro.
All right, this is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 15. It says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through.
Talking about in America, man. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, man. In America, man. Go ahead.
And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
Go ahead.
Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes.
Go ahead.
Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished.
Yeah, that's what's going to come to America, man. That's the future of America, man. That's the future, man. It ain't looking good, man. Go ahead.
Verse 17, it says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them.
That's the Russians, man. So the Most High said, YAHAWASHI said he's going to stir up the Medes against them, man. Talking about against Babylon the Great, man. So the Most High got them Russians right, man. Go ahead.
Which shall not regard silver And as for gold, they shall not delight in it.
They don't need it, man. They got their own resources, man. They got their own resources, man. You're not gonna be able to pay them Russians off to stop what they doing, man. They don't need America, man. They going their own way. Go ahead.
It says, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. Verse 19, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the pretty of the Chaldeans, excellency shall be as when the Most High.
No. Start back up. Read it again.
That same verse.
Yeah.
It says, Isaiah chapter 13, verse 19. It says, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans, excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Verse 20. It shall never be inhabited.
No, you missed something. That's something that's tripping. Start at what verse was that?
I was reading this one.
Start at 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, this is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 18. It says, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. Verse 19, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans, excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right, con. There you go. Go ahead.
All right, verse 20. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there,
Right.
neither shall the shepherd make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there.
Yeah, so America not gonna be inhabited no more, man. Nobody gonna dwell over here. People you see walking around today, there's nobody gonna be over here, man, after the destruction, man. Okay, go ahead.
It says, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there.
Go ahead.
Verse 22. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant places. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged.
So America days shall not be prolonged, man. And you can see how the Russians is studying America, man, and how they are openly calling them pedophiles and homosexuals, man. Openly, man. You see? So I got one more, and let me see. This is a colonel right here speaking concerning this is a colonel speaking concerning America, man.
Back in the days, I mean, it was trying to take somewhere. But now,
Just give you an example. The United States was involved in sinking the flagship of the blacks. We seem to be headed, I'd like to tell you that wars, they're all afraid to stand up to the United States. Seem almost disinterested in things.
This is the colonel, man. I'm gonna let y'all see this right here. This Kim Iverson channel.
And you listen to the speech that you just played. This is not a guy who is just playing games. He is very genuine about it, and he's hoping to hold together this NATO coalition, which, these guys over in Europe, they're very nervous about what's going on, but they're all afraid to stand up to the United States. I really worry that it is genuine, that it's not some sort of a stage presentation, but it's something that is genuine, that has gotten beyond what
any one person is likely to control. We seem to be headed. I'd like to tell you that wars are totally rational, but you can go back. I think a good example is what happened with World War I. Historians still debate over who was to blame, how the war started, but it started with the assassination of the Austrian Archduke and his wife. And in the end, 14 million people were dead at the end of First World War, and the stage was set for the Second World War that killed another 50 million. It started with 2 people. And I think here we're taking steps of phenomenal recklessness. I'll just give you an example. The United States was involved in sinking the flagship of the Black Sea Fleet, the Moskva. It's named after the capital of Russia. 300 young sailors went to the bottom. We probably fired the missiles. We probably controlled them ourselves. We targeted 13 senior Russian field generals for assassination, helped to kill them along working with Ukraine. We went beyond, and from what I can tell, there was a drone attack that was launched that went deep into Russia and actually damaged some of their nuclear carrying jet aircraft, some of their nuclear powered or capable bombers. So this was part of their defensive triad. We have various people. We have the chairman of the House Foreign Relations Committee who recently agreed with a crazy general who made the comment that we're going to be at war with China by 2025. Now, this is the chairman of the House Foreign Relations Committee. This isn't just some off-the-wall character. And yet he's saying, well, there's some merit to what this general said. We seem to be determined to drive our car at 100 miles an hour into a bridge abutment. We're just aiming for it, and we got our pedal to the metal. It's a bizarre time. I've never experienced it. I've followed foreign affairs for about 70 years. Since I was a little boy, I had a fascination with it, and I've never seen us in a situation like we are today.
So you think we're headed into not only war with Russia, a hot war, but also one with China as well?
I think so. The strategy behind that is it is absolute madness. If you wanted to take down these 2 big nuclear powers, you would do them one at a time. We, for whatever reason, we've got the ball rolling. We've decided to take them both down simultaneously, and it is a terrible strategy for a lot of reasons. But militarily, just purely militarily, it's a bizarre strategy. But we're in a time when rational people are not controlling events.
Right.
I've always said that unlike some countries, you take Russia, President Putin is kind of the ultimate authority. He, obviously everybody has input, but ultimately he makes the decision. In the United States, and particularly with NATO involved too, there is no central organizing intellect behind foreign policy, behind Western foreign policy. It is sort of an amorphous, moving blob that's constantly shifting. And you would like to think that there's somebody who can simply turn off the switch and say, okay, we're shutting this monster down. But it's not clear that there is.
If we were to go into this hot war, from your perspective, would we win?
No. There would be, the United States would be devastated to the point where perhaps perhaps 60% of the population would die within a period of a month. And Western Europe would be very similar. London would simply be uninhabitable for the next 1,000 years. Same thing with New York City, with Washington, D.C. There would be places that would be spared. Africa would be spared. There would be perhaps areas of Asia, perhaps Latin America, but Western civilization would die in a nuclear war. And I don't know that it matters to some of the people making the decisions today. It's a little bit eerie to watch it taking place.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And scary that they wouldn't care. Scary that they would march us towards us and that they just, for whatever their purpose is, it just is absolutely frightening. So, hopefully we can stop it. Is there any way, do you think, that, it just feels, we feel powerless, quite frankly. It just doesn't feel like there's anything we the people can do. Even if the polls show the American people are increasingly becoming...
So I wanted y'all to see that. That's a colonel right there speaking, and he is observing what's going on in the world. And he was saying, if you look at the video, all of it, he was saying even during the Cuban Missile Crisis, he's saying the conditions that we in today is worse. And that's a colonel right there. And a colonel is below, that's a retired colonel, and a colonel is below a general, man. So he knows, man. Place is done, man. So we're gonna face the east. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, 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 YAHAWASHI. Double honors to the elder apostle GMS, who will well salute you brothers that's pushing this word, and truth to sincerity and strength, YAHAWASHI. And shalom to you brothers and sisters growing in trust and spirit, YAHAWASHI. Shalom to you too. So with that, Mawafla Babylon,
Mawafla Babylon,
Mawafla Babylon,
Mawafla Babylon,
and Mawafla 2/3 Shalom. Stay strong, search the scriptures, and pray for deliverance.